It's strength in finding resilience beyond your circumstances. What is up, you guys? I'm Zakia Monet, and welcome to the Finding Your Way podcast, where we share stories about hardships and share ways to not let our circumstances define us. Like you, we just here to find our way. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Finding Her Way podcast. My name is Zakia. I go by Zakia Monet on all social media platforms. And welcome to another episode once again. You guys know that we always do a journal entry. And this journal entry will be what the structure look like for you. That can be as a mom, that can be as a woman, that can be as a businesswoman, or just in general, what the structure look like for you. Because this week has been all about me getting structure in my home, rerouting and rethinking about how everything is going right now. Last week episode, I told you guys about my son and the issues that we were having as far as him being suspended for the rest of the year of school and not being able to go back. Me having to figure out all of those, like a new school, figure out how, like, not where I went wrong or what can I do better or how can I fix it, because I feel like I let a lot of stuff go or fall at the wayside. And as a single parent, you cannot slack. Like you have to pick up the pieces. Like you have to pick up your side and you also have to pick up the other person's side. And it's been a struggle. As much as it's been a struggle, I feel like this week I just had to sit down and figure out what I need to be doing different, because something that obviously is something that I'm doing is not working. I know I say, like, a lot of the times, like, it's not always like you can raise, no matter how much you pour into a child, or no matter how good you raise a child, they always are going to have their own path. They're going to have their own path. They're going to have their own way of thinking. They're going to do their own thing. So how they do things and how they behave and things that they get into is it's a reflection. I don't know. I just don't feel like, I feel like we do the best that we can as parents, and how the kids act at a certain point or outside of the house, like how they act at a certain point, that be on them. It's not always a reflection of how we parent, because you can be a bomb ass parent and your child just go out here and do the opposite of what you're instilling in them. And it's not even, 9 times out of 10, it's like not even a thing that they're doing purposefully. Although they're doing it, I don't think it's a purposeful thing. I think it's always a response to something. So it's always a thing of getting down to that root cause. I feel like with the root cause with my son, I feel like it's his background, what he's witnessed and what he's seen, what he's been through. Like I said, my son is not he doesn't do anything. He doesn't antagonize anybody. He's not a bully. He's a kind. He's very much a sweetheart. He helps people. He's just like, he's that guy. He's always thinking about other people. Like, he's just always wanting to get other people gifts. Like, he's always been that person. It's just when somebody does something to him, his reaction is always just overboard. And so I have to figure out, how can we work through this? Like, we have to get through the root cause. And the root cause, like I said, is what he's seen, what he's witnessed. Because if you're reacting in violence and you're reacting in a way that's not appeasing to how I'm raising you, and not appeasing to, like, you're not following, like wherever you are, like whether it's school or whether it's in the public, like you're not following the rules or whatever, like we gotta get down to the bottom of it. So I feel like this week, as I talked to my therapist about it, because y'all know these last 2 weeks I said I was a wreck. I didn't even record a podcast that week that it happened. Like, I wasn't in the mood for anything. I think I got the call the night before. I was supposed to do I was going to batch content. I didn't even get to do all of that for real, because I was just like, my mind was just like, what do I got to do now? Like, what do I do now? And I had to take myself out of it, because I know, like, I do the best that I can. So I had to do the best so I had to take myself out of that equation and think, like, like, what is my child going through? Like, what do he got going on that he keeps getting into trouble, or that he's, wanting to react in a way that I'm not teaching him how to react. Like, if somebody hits you, of course you hit back. But as far as, like, the others, like, taking, like, it was just a lot. So, like, I'm just having to structure my life. And that's just what I've been thinking about doing. Like, that's just what I've been on. Like, how am I going to, get my son on the right track to where his reaction is not always in a violent space, or how he, you know, responds to things is not always outrageous or crazy, and how I respond to things is not always crazy. I have to fix myself as well, because I feel like my first reaction is always anger, and I'm always upset. Like, so I just have to work on that. And so this week, after I talk to my therapist, I am going to put him back into therapy. I am going to do that, and I'm also going to come up with a lot of things that he can do over the summer to keep him occupied, so he's not on that on electronics all the time. So he's, you know, like, so we just getting him right for the new school, whatever school I decide to put him in, or whatever school he goes to. I started touring schools last week, and so I'm really hopeful for one of them. That one was probably my favorite, so I'm really, you know, fingers crossed he's able to get in, because it is a waiting list for that school. So hopefully he's able to get in. But, you know, like, it's really been about structure. Like, how can I be better as a parent? Like, what can I do better? How can I, you know, like, what can I do to, you know, help him navigate life? Because I feel like boys, at a certain age, I feel like after a certain age, I feel like that's just who they are. It's kind of like, I'm not gonna say like it's no changing their mind, but how they respond to things as children after a certain age, it's just like that's gonna be their path. So I want to get him, you know, I want to reroute. I want to do things different. I want to just get him on a different path. So I want to do whatever I can whatever I can do to help him. That's what I want to do. And so I want him to, you know, hopefully we can stay on this path. And so my goal, like I said, was to get him back in therapy. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to get him, I want to look into getting him into boxing or any extracurricular activity. I want to get him into that. So that's what I'm looking into as well. And for me personally, is figuring out how can I spend less time on my phone. Like, what can I do as a parent to, you know, like, even though I know I got to make money, like, what can I do to, you know, like, do things at maybe a different time, or set some time aside to just focus on him and, you know, just interact with him. So I'm going to do that. And it's going to be hard because, like, my phone is where I make my money. My phone and my computer, like, that's just how I make my money. And I just got to get out of that, because, like, no amount of money is worth, like, your child going down the wrong path. Or when you, like, even if you see, like, a glimpse of it, I just don't want I want my child to be better than me or his parents. Like, I just want him to be better than us. And so that comes with making better decisions and better choices. And whatever I can do to do that, if I got to dial back from, you know, being online and doing all this other stuff, or set some time aside to batch create content and stuff like that, or batch create podcast episodes, like, that's what I'm going to do. And so it's just been, it's been really hard. It's been really tough. I've been having, like, emotional breakdown after emotional breakdown, because I feel like I said, like, I was just so, I know it comes to a point where you just gotta be like, you know, fuck it. Like, if you the only parent they got, you're the only parent they got. You gotta make that shit work. You gotta do whatever you can. But when stuff keeps happening like this, or when he gets in trouble at school and stuff like that, and just makes you upset. Like, I was pissed. I'm pissed at the dad, because, like, why are you not here? Why are you not helping me? Like, why? I don't understand any parent who has went down a road that they don't want their children to go down. Why not show them something different? Like, you know, why not show them different? Why not show them or instill in them or pour into them something different? And that's my frustration. And it's just like him seeing all this stuff with, you know, my family members and his dad. And it's just like, my son has seen a lot. So that's why it's very important for me to put him into therapy. The virtual therapy really didn't work out because my son has ADHD, so he's not able to focus for real. And so I feel like he'll be more receptive to it in person. And so I'm looking for an in-person therapist. I already have one in mind because my therapist sent him to me, and so I'm going to do a consultation with him, and, you know, we're gonna get that ball rolling. It's just like I've just been so full of emotion, and I feel like how I react to things is not a healthy way. Like, when I'm stressed, I'm probably gonna regret saying this, but when I'm stressed, or when I got a lot going on, I like to have sex. Like, that's just what it is. Like, that is my, I feel like that's just my stress reliever. Like, I don't know what it is, but, and I'm trying to get better with that. But I just been so stressed out. And so I'm just trying to get it together, trying to reroute, trying to figure out ways and things that I can do better as a parent, to show him something different. Because, you know, I just don't want him to, the path that I'm seeing him go down is not a good one. Although he is a very smart child, he's a very helpful child, he is so sweet, he's so kind. Although he's all of those amazing things, he still has a lot he needs to work on for himself. And I don't want him to do things that he's going to regret growing up. I just want him to be better than me, for real. Like, I just want him to be better than me and his dad. And, you know, like, I just want him to be better. And so we all want our kids to do better than us. At least I would hope, you know. Even if you are doing good, I would hope that you would want your child to do better than what you're doing. And so I'm trying to do the best that I can and set a good example for him, especially with how I respond to things and how I react to things. And, you know, like, showing him, you know, what I do in my life, because he does, like, he really, like, although he did what he did, he really does like creating content for he really does like creating content for YouTube. So I want to show him a different way you can do that. It's different ways you can channel different things. So I'm gonna create some structure, especially how I discipline him, because how I was disciplining him, I don't feel like it was as effective. Like, I wasn't sticking to what I wanted him to do. I slacked a lot on when it comes to chores. Like, when I see like people, I admire people who have their kids on a routine, because, baby, like, I lack the consistency in that, and I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know if, like, I know I gotta dial back a lot of things in my life. So maybe when I do that, I'll be able to focus more on, you know, the routine and the consistency and the structure of it all. So, you know, we're not all perfect parents, but I feel like it is very important when you see something, or you see an area that you lack in. I feel like it is very important. It is very, very important for you to at least acknowledge that and say, okay, I'm going to try to make this a change, or I'm going to try to do something different, and let your child hold you accountable. You know, y'all can be each other's accountability partners. So it's just, you know, as a parent, we fall short on a lot of things. We're not perfect people. We have our own things going on. Like, you're trying to do a lot at one time. You're trying to be a human being. First of all, you're trying to be a woman or a man first. You're trying to be, you know, take care of yourself, make sure you're okay, so you're able to take care of your child and make sure they're okay. Like, it's so much you have to juggle, especially as a woman. Oh my gosh, like, it's just so much we have to juggle. It's just like, you gotta be a mom. Like, you gotta while being a mom, you gotta figure out how you're gonna take care of yourself, and make sure you know, because you wanna look like, you wanna at least feel some type of good about yourself. So you gotta make sure you put that in there. You gotta make sure you're working, and you gotta make sure you have the headspace to do your work, so you're able to perform at the ability that the job wants you to perform at, so you can keep the job, so you can pay for all the stuff that your kids need, all the stuff that you need. Like, it's just a lot that goes into everything while trying to take care of your mental health. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And I know people are gonna be like, it's a lot of people that they are not sympathetic to how much we all have on our plate. They're not sympathetic to that. It's like, you know, suck it up. Like, that's life. You're an adult. It's called being an adult. That's cool. We know that. We know what comes with that. But damn, like, we need some woosah time too. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, life should not be this hard. I feel like we're supposed to have heaven on earth. And with that, it comes like, you know, like, I just don't feel like life should be hard. Life should not be this hard. So if I'm going to make sure I do whatever I can to soften up the load for myself, and so I can perform better as a parent, so I can show up better as a parent, you know. So I'm just making sure I'm taking inventory, and I'm checking inventory on not just myself as a parent, or not just me as a parent, but me as a woman, so I can show up as I always say this, so I can show up better as a parent. Because when you take care of yourself, you're able to take care of, like, you know, what you need to as a parent. I feel like, at least. So you know, it's just, it's a lot. You know, I don't want to be like that all the time. I don't want to, you know, like, I don't want to have to overanalyze everything all the time. I don't want to be stressed all the time. Who wants to be stressed all the time? I don't want to, like, I feel like I need to create some sort of structure in my life. When it comes to any and everything, especially, no, when it comes to any and everything, I just feel like I have to get some sort of structure and some sort of organization when it comes, whether it's finances, whether it's parenting, whether it's myself, putting myself on a routine, putting myself on a schedule, giving myself some structure, you know, so I'm not like all over the place, so I'm not tired all the time, so I'm not looking tired all the time, so I'm showing up showing up as my best self at all times. So, you know, like, I just feel like I really gotta knuckle down and get down to that, especially when it comes to finding her way and all that stuff. Like, I haven't done anything that I'm supposed to do. Like, you know how when it's so much to do, you just sit there and do nothing? That's how I've been when it comes to finding her way. It's just like finding the resources, figuring out what's the next step, figuring out how do I get from point A to point B, figuring out the people to put in place or the team I need to build in order to keep this thing afloat. If I want to do a if I want to keep it as a nonprofit or change it to a for-profit, because with a nonprofit, it's not like you're not the head of it, and I don't want to ever be kicked out of something that I built or that I started. And so it's thinking about keeping all those things into consideration. It's just a lot, and so I'm just you know, trying to get everything together for that, and it's just been a lot. It's really been a lot while trying to make money on the side outside of your 9 to 5. It's just while trying to go to school, you know, it's just, you know, it's just a lot. But I feel like the end result will be so worth it. I feel like if this is gonna get me to where I need to be, I gotta do it. You gotta put the work in. It's not just gonna come to you, you know, out the sky. It's just not gonna do that. You gotta, faith without works is dead. So you gotta put in some work, you know, with that faith. You gotta put in some work, and then you can't worry and pray at the same time. And that's my problem. I worry and pray at the same time, and you know, like, you just can't worry and pray at the same time. You just can't do it, and I just gotta work on that, and I gotta just get myself together in all aspects, because I feel like I'm all over the place. And you know, like, as long as I feel like I'm taking, like, I pointed it out in myself, and I know what I need to do, and so that's what I'm going to do. But you know, that's pretty much what I've been on this week, and it is also like, just what else been going on? What else been going on? It's been a lot of other background stuff, but I don't know if I want to talk about that just yet, but I will for sure. I feel like when you do a lot for people, or when you do something for somebody and then you feel like you can't do it anymore, like, all the stuff that you've done for that person, it just goes away for them, if that makes sense. Like, all the stuff that you've done for that person, it's just like, it meant nothing. Like, what you was doing out the kindness of your heart and how you was showing up for that person, it just meant nothing once you put yourself first, or wanted to pour into you. Like, it's just like, all the stuff that you've done meant nothing. And so I'm trying to get into a space where I'm looking after my kid and making, like, right now, the space that I'm in, I'm trying, you know, because I'm trying to, you know, keep a balance with, you know, my life and my mom life. And so I feel like I need that balance. And so a lot of that, a lot of the mom life, I feel like I need to be, you know, I need to be focusing on that. Like, that's my priority right now. Like, focusing on my child, getting him to the place that he needs to be, figuring out what's going on with him, figuring out how I can help him, you know, like, get through this hurdle. Because my son does not like talking about, you know, things that he's been through. And I get it. He doesn't want to get anybody in trouble. He doesn't want to, you know, like, he just doesn't want to rock the boat. And I get it. But I just want, whatever he got to do whatever he got to do, I want him to do it. And so a lot of my focus and a lot of my attention needs to go on him. 90% is on him, 10% is on me, because I still need that. I need that balance in order to show up as a mama. Whether it's drinking some wine outside on my porch, whether it's, having a little company, having a little company, just a little company, nothing too crazy. Whether it's, little stuff like that. I don't gotta go out to a club. I don't gotta do none of that. My time, like my fun time is quality time. Even if it's just with myself, or just going out to eat with a friend, or something like that, or having a little company in the house. That's all I really need, for real. Like, that's my 10%. The rest, the 90%, needs to go into my child and pouring into him. And if I gotta take out the distractions, like anybody else who, like, I've been pouring into and been taken away from my household, then I'm going to do that, and I gotta do that. I can't keep worrying about how people respond if I say no. I can't keep worrying about that. So, like, that's been another stress that I've had this week. Like, learning to say no and be comfortable in that no, and not, dibbling back with my no. Like, some people know that you mean what you say. Like, if I'm telling you no because I need to pour into my child, you need to respect my no. And if you can't respect my no, I don't need to give a damn about nothing else. Like, I'm not flip-flopping. I'm not changing my decision for you. Like, that just needs to be it. And so I'm working on my no's. I'm really working on my no's, because people will show you people will show you who they are once you tell them no. One time, like, they will really show you who they are. And so I'm just working on pouring into the things that I need to pour into, the for sure things, So that's just where my headspace has been at. Ain't really too much other stuff going on, for real. It's just like, that's really just been taking up a lot of my headspace, for real. Like, trying to figure out how I can show up as a better mom. Because there's something going on with him, and I gotta get that. I gotta get down to that. So, I don't know. But we're gonna get through it. I'm gonna stay prayed up always. I want to continue to get him prayed over, because he's going to get through this. I know for sure he's going to get through it. So I'm not worried about him too much. It's just like it's like a little worrisome when, like, you start to see an inch of, like, the path that you see your child going down. But when you see it, like, you just need to go ahead and correct it. Whether it's sitting down and having a conversation with your child, or if your child does not feel safe enough, or if your child doesn't feel, like, you are the person they need to talk to, introduce them to a therapist, or if they have somebody else that's in their life that's an adult and they feel comfortable enough to talk to them, let them be the outlet. Don't let your pride get in the way of that, because of course we want our child to come to us all the time. We want our kids to come to us with anything they have gone through. A lot of us didn't have that. A lot of us didn't have that safe space. I know I didn't. So I for sure want my child to come to me with anything that he's going through. And although he knows that, I still want him to also know that I won't be upset if he decides to go to somebody else with it. Like, even if he wants to have a conversation with one of my friends, like, if he feels comfortable enough with that person, and I want that. I really want that. I want him to feel comfortable enough, no matter who it is, to talk to that person and be able to open up to that person. They don't have to come back and tell me. As long as they have the relationship and I'm comfortable with it, I just really, like, it just is what it is. I don't want to have any pride when it comes to that. I want him to be able to talk to people. So, my son feels safe enough to talk to you, let him. Like, I just I don't want people to feel like that's I don't want my child to be a burden on people, but I do want my child to have that outlet. So if my child feels safe enough to talk to you, do your big one. Do your big one. I won't interfere. I won't say anything, But if it's something very important you feel like I need to know, just tell me. I'm not, I'm just, just tell me. But, you know, besides that, you don't have to tell me anything. What y'all talk about is what y'all talk about. You know? So, that's just it for the updates for this week. I think next week, I do want to fill you guys in on the dating scene and the dating life. So I'm going to get back into that because that's been its whole thing. That's been its own thing. But, you know, that's all for this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank you for tuning in. Always like, comment, share, subscribe with a friend. Share with somebody you feel like needs it. Leave a comment down below. Let's chit chat. Or you can email me or DM me, whichever one you're comfortable with, you know. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed and took at least one thing, if any, from this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share us with a friend you know. Follow us on Instagram at findingherwaypod and send us letters or questions to askfhw@gmail.com. We hope to hear from you in the next episode.